Well, good afternoon. We're starting almost exactly on time, so this is exciting. I am Representative Liz Olson, the Majority Whip, and I'm excited to be here to talk about the Minnesota Values Project and Plan, which is the bedrock of what we're going to be talking about here in a few minutes with our bills. So the House DFLers traveled the state to listen to Minnesotans and have conversations about our shared values. We listened to people's hopes, their dreams, their fears, what keeps them up at night. And what we learned is that Minnesotans care deeply about our state and want to see each other succeed. We want affordable health care, not just for ourselves and our families, but for our neighbors. We want world-class schools for our children and all the children in our communities. We want jobs that provide good wages and benefits to support all families. We want everyone to be safe at home, in school, at work, and in public spaces. Our shared values bring us together as a guide for how we move forward. And we want to make our state work better for all of us, no matter where you live, what you look like, or anything else that's set up to divide us. We've worked to engage communities across the state to build a legislative agenda rooted in these hopes and aspirations and demands of the people. With this agenda, we're offering ideas for a new direction to make our state a better place for all Minnesotans through these initiatives of affordable health care, greater economic security, improved educational opportunities, and to critically invest in our infrastructure. And with that, I'm going to introduce our Speaker Hortman to share a little bit more.
Thank you. Good morning, or good afternoon. You've heard a lot about the Minnesota Values Project and the Minnesota Values Plan, and it's exciting that we finally have the opportunity to start doing the work to implement the plan. We are really excited to get to work with Lieutenant Governor Flanagan and Governor Walz. And we believe that working together, we can create a Minnesota that works better for everyone. Minnesota is a really strong state, but we know it can be even better. And that economic prosperity hasn't reached all families in all corners of the state. At the Capitol, our work will focus on improving economic prosperity for all families across the state. We're going to work very hard to ensure world-class educational opportunities, more affordable, more accessible health care, and investing in Minnesota's critical infrastructure, from clean energy to transportation to broadband. And with that, I'll introduce the Majority Leader, Ryan Winkler.
Thank you all for coming today. The emphasis on these top 10 bills are new initiatives that are going to address the problems that Minnesotans told us about and talked about in their communities as we reached out to them. So in the spirit of that, we will quickly move to have the bill authors themselves come up and describe their bills, their legislation, and what they're going to be working on. But it's important to remember that this is a snapshot or a sampling of the initiatives that the House DFL will be pushing this year. And in each of these issue areas, there is much more work to be done to advance a policy agenda that serves the needs of Minnesotans. And so we will start with health care and Representative Tina Liebling.
Good afternoon, everyone. Tina Liebling from Rochester. I am the incoming chair of the House Health and Human Service Finance Committee, and I'm here to talk about the Minnesota Care buy-in bill that we will be introducing. So we know that one of the big challenges in healthcare, and there are many, but one of the big challenges is that individual insurance is too expensive and doesn't cover enough. And so our Minnesota Care buy-in option will provide a better opportunity for Minnesotans who buy their insurance in the individual market to have a product that covers more and costs less. So this is the goal, and it is, as I say, one piece of many challenges, but it is clear that too many Minnesotans can't afford insurance, and even if they can afford it, they can't afford the out-of-pockets. So they essentially have no access to care. So that's all I'll say for now, and I think I'm turning it over to Representative Lesh to talk about pharmaceuticals.
Hi, I'm State Representative John Lesh. 4 years ago, a person popularly referred to by the media as the pharma bro, Martin Shkreli, raised the price of a drug that was commonly used to reduce the side effects of AIDS-related illnesses from $13.50 to over $750 a pill. America saw this as outrageous and unconscionable, and with me is Rena Moran, a co-author on the bill, who's going to speak as to why that's unconscionable and outrageous for Minnesota.
Thank you, Representative Lesh. So about 2 weeks ago, I got a phone call from my sister who has diabetes too, and said that I had to go. I just came from the doctor. I was used to paying $40 for in my deductible for my insulin. She said today I had to pay $140. I can't afford this. And because I can't afford every 30 days paying $140 for my insulin, I'm going to have to ration my insulin, which we all know that her story is a story of so many Minnesotans who are paying just way too much for or going without life-saving prescription drugs. No one, absolutely no one, should lose their life because they can't afford the life-saving medication that they need. For too long, the Republicans have prioritized big pharmaceutical companies, resulting in out-of-control costs for families. That's why the House DFL are working to hold big pharmas accountable.
Good afternoon. I'm Representative Jim Dabney. I have the privilege this biennium of chairing the House K-12 Education Finance Committee. The House DFL caucus in our conversations with Minnesotans believes that all students in Minnesota deserve a world-class education. I'm joined today by the chief author of our bill, my new colleague from District 49A, Heather Edison. Heather?
Good afternoon, everyone. Getting our children off to a best possible start in life is an investment in our future and opportunity every family deserves. We know that Minnesota does best when we invest in Minnesotans. As a mom and a therapist, I understand the direct impact these policies will have on kids and families. By funding school-linked mental health programs and school support professionals, we ensure that students have access to supports they need to succeed. By funding full-service community schools, we ensure that school communities can build the sort of partnerships needed for schools and families to thrive. By creating opportunities for children of color, we know that everyone benefits when our Minnesota classrooms and educators reflect the students that they teach. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Dave Pinto, State Representative and the Chair of the Early Childhood Finance and Policy Committee. As Representative Adelson referenced, our caucus is committed to making sure that every child gets off to a great start in life, and our proposal in this area will be presented by the Vice Chair of the committee, Representative Cotiza-Wattoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Representative Carly Cotiza-Wattoon, representing Eden Prairie in 48B. Introducing the Great Start for All Minnesota Children Act, we suffer from one of the largest opportunity gaps in the country, and this gap starts long before kindergarten. Every Minnesota child deserves a great start to their life, and we all benefit when this happens. The Great Start for All Minnesota Children Act invests in prenatal care, home visiting for new parents, and early development and care, especially for low-income children between ages of birth to 3. I personally know the importance of these proposals. My husband and I are in the process of adopting 3 young children out of our Minnesota State foster care system. Along with the proposals for paid family leave and student supports, we'll be ensuring support for all Minnesota families every step of the way. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Lori Halverson. I'm state representative from Eagan, Minnesota, and I'm the incoming chair of the Commerce Committee. Today I am introducing the Paid Family and Medical Leave Act for the state of Minnesota. We all know and we have all heard major concerns at the Capitol from our employers who are looking to be able to be competitive in the employment market and trying to make sure that we have employees participating in the employment market. What we do know is that there are folks who really struggle trying to maintain their employment while dealing with a major illness, while dealing with the birth or adoption of a new child, or caring for an elderly or sick relative. And the Paid Family Medical Leave Act is a proposal that's going to make sure that Minnesotans have the access to the care and the time that they need to care for their loved ones, to bond with a new baby, and maintain their employment careers that these employers are looking for. And it's a system where the folks who contribute also are going to be benefiting from this particular proposal. And when we look at what we're trying to solve in the state of Minnesota with regard to access to child care and access to long-term care, we want to be sure that Minnesota families get to play the role that they want to play in caring for their loved ones.
I'm State Representative Tim Mahoney from 67A, and I am the chair of the Jobs and Economic Development Committee. And did you know in this state, if you steal from a bank, you go to jail? If you steal from your employees, you go to the Bahamas. We're going to make it illegal to steal from your employees in this state. We're going to value work. We have always valued work. We're going to make it so that when you work, you get paid. I'm going to carry the wage theft bill this year, and we will make that bill a bipartisan bill, because we all believe that if you go to work for 40 hours a week, you should get paid for 40 hours a week. You should know who your employer is. You should know where they, maybe not know where they live, but at least know where their business is. This will be a movement in our state, and hopefully we will continue to push this across the nation. In today's world, 99.9% of the employers are good employers. But 40,000 people get money stolen from them every year. And they only have the staff to actually work with about 2,000 of them over at the Department of Labor and Industry. We're going to give them the tools to do their job, because we as Democrats, we as Minnesotans value work, and we value getting paid for your work. So I look forward to you spending a lot of time on my committee watching this one.
So again, State Representative Dave Pinto from St. Paul, along with Representative Ruth Richardson. I'm the author of one of the two bills to take steps to do more to keep guns out of the hands of dangerous people. I work outside the legislature as a prosecutor, and I see the need for this every day. The bill that I am authoring is a bill to have criminal background checks on all sales. Minnesotans deserve to be safe at school, at work, and in the community. And this measure, along with the one that Representative Richardson will discuss, will help do just that.
The bill that I'm authoring is the Extreme Risk Protections Order bill. This proposal would help law enforcement and family members keep weapons out of the hands, keep guns out of the hands of people who are dangerous to themselves or to others. We've heard far too many stories over the last several years of shootings that could have been prevented with extreme risk protection orders. When family members or law enforcement see clear red flags, they should be able to do something about them.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Kelly Moeller from District 42A, and I'm the incoming Vice Chair of the Civil Law and Judiciary Finance Committee. And all Minnesotans deserve to work and live in an environment that's free from sexual harassment. It's clear that we need to change the current status of the law away from the severe or pervasive standard, and that's why House DFLers are working hard to change the standard for sexual harassment. Now, this bill passed the House with overwhelming bipartisan support last year, and it's time that we get it done. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm State Representative Rob Eklund from District 3A. I'm the incoming Veterans Affairs Finance and Policy Chair. My bill's on broadband. Broadband, I heard, and we've heard over and over again, the problems with broadband across the state of Minnesota. We have to figure out how to serve the unserved first, and then work with the underserved. It's going to play an increasingly more important role in the lives of Minnesotans as we go along. And we have to do everything to make sure that all Minnesotans have access to high-speed internet. A couple of quick stories, and then I'll go. I'm not a guy that knows all the ups and downs and what a gig is and all that kind of stuff. That's why I'll bring the experts in. But we need dollars to meet the state's speed goals by 2026. Deb Lagan, who lives right down the road from me, is a coordinator for an industrial company in Iowa. She coordinates all the shipments. She gets so frustrated with her speeds that she has to go take a walk to get it done. And then right in my house, where my wife and I live, Rob Eklund and Joan Eklund cannot have our laptops going at the same time because we just don't have the power to do it. So thank you.
All right, we're ready for questions.
That's it.
So how many of these things can pass the Senate and become law, maybe besides broadband?
You want?
All of these things can pass the Senate and become law.
Why do you think that? How do you make that happen?
Well, first of all, a number of these issues are things that have passed already or have passed in other states with Republican support. I think particularly paid family and medical leave. That's been an issue that has garnered Republican support where it's passed in other states. The Senate is obviously very closely divided right now, and I think on a number of these issues, if the Senate leadership would simply let a vote take place, a majority would vote for the bills. And so we will be working all session to find common ground with Republican senators and with Democratic senators in order to move as many of these initiatives through as we can.
Should I rephrase it? Maybe what is the best chance of getting through the Senate besides maybe broadband and paid family leave those?
Well, I'll just echo what Ryan said. You know, I think that the Minnesota Senate has a pragmatic leader, and so far, so good, right? We're getting along really well, but it's early. And these are values that Minnesotans share across party lines. I think investing in early childhood education and making sure all children get off to a great start is something that both Democrats and Republicans can agree on. And when you go down the line, you know, I think all of these issues, you've seen bipartisan support except for gun violence prevention. And I would imagine that will be a tougher conversation to have. But Minnesota voters showed up at the polls. They showed up on the campaign trail, and they were very clear that they wanted to see action.
Can you talk about what funding sources or mechanisms you're looking at to pay for some of these? Paid family leave, some others?
Well, paid family leave we could have Lori speak to in particular.
So thank you for the question. It's an important one, right? And what we found in Minnesota is that Minnesotans are willing to pay for things that they get a return on. Minnesotans, this is the Minnesota Values Project that we're talking about, and Minnesotans know value when they see it. And paid family leave is a combination of employer contributions, employee contributions, and along with some state support to get the infrastructure up and running so that employers can offer this benefit, no matter how small they are, to their employees, in order to make sure that their employees are able to maintain their lives, take care of the issues that they need without having to quit their jobs. And there are a lot of people who leave the workforce because of pressures for having to care for elderly people or because of the adoption of a child. I lived through that myself, where I adopted a child and didn't have the leave that I needed and ended up leaving the workforce because it didn't work economically for my family. And so we want to be sure that Minnesotans can participate in the workforce as fully as possible as we're dealing with this workforce shortage, and this will be a really important investment. That and the coalition that is working to support this effort actually ranges from the faith community to caregivers to the small business community. So it's a very broad coalition, and I think that in itself tells how much it's going to impact the lives of Minnesotans.
And the details on the split employer-employee versus state contribution, can you share those with us, Representative?
I will share them without my reading glasses. Let's see.
1.75.
Yes.
See if they work for you.
Vanity, right? Yeah, so we're looking at, there's a few things about it. And one of the things I think that's interesting about this particular proposal is that it is a tiered proposal. So we will be looking at a proposal that pays out to lower wage workers at a higher percentage so that folks who are at the most vulnerable places with their employment, literally the paycheck to paycheck or less than paycheck to paycheck, have a higher rate of return than somebody who has had the ability to build wealth throughout their lives and would have other means of support. So the range of payback is from 90% of wages to 55% of an employee's salary, and it averages out to about 6%. And if I remember correctly, it is essentially we're looking at about less than a cup of coffee for both the employer and the employee. So we're talking about pennies a day, and I can get you more specifics on that. Where I know I'm still getting some fiscal analysis on that, but it's really about pennies a day. Thank you, ma'am.
Can I ask Representative Liebling a question about buy-in? The Hospital Association is concerned that the reimbursement rates will not be sufficient if they have a large increase in the number of people being covered by that. Do you think that requires some sort of a state additional contribution into those funds in order to try to keep those reimbursement rates high enough for the hospitals to be able to accept them?
Well, this is a concern that's often been raised by the Republicans to say we can't do this because it'll cause hospitals to fail when we're paying these low rates. I believe that's a red herring because the rates can be what we decide they will be. And part of the bill that we are introducing is to do it with direct contracting. In other words, not to use HMOs to right now, under Minnesota Care, we pay capitated rates, and then they decide what to pay the providers. The HMOs decide what to pay. This would be direct contracting, so the state would retain control over what we pay the providers. And that would mean that we would have the ability to adjust the rates in order to make sure that we keep hospitals and other kinds of providers available in places in the state where we absolutely need them. So we would not do this and put at risk those providers. We want to make sure that people have health care all across the state, not just insurance. Insurance is just a means. People need to be able to access health care, and this bill, we believe, will help that happen.
Representative, will the repeal of the sunset of the provider tax, is that necessary to enable your bill financially?
Well, either the repeal of the sunset or some other mechanism to replace that revenue is essential for the stability of the state, whether or not we do this optional purchase proposal. We were just talking about that at a conference we were at, and I think that pretty much, maybe I'm stretching it a bit, but I think there's broad recognition of that fact, that we have to do something to replace that revenue. So I don't know if I could say that this particular proposal depends on that, but I would say the stability of our whole state budget depends on it.
I dare say of all of these that you have here on this list, this is probably the toughest role to hold with Republicans in the Senate in particular. How are you going to convince them?
Well, I think that there is some real goodwill on both sides and real interest in working out some of these issues, because whether we go with this proposal or something else, I think it's, in the last sessions, the Republicans dedicated over $500 million to keeping the insurance market afloat in the individual market, just giving them the money and saying, oh, we hope you'll use this to reduce premiums, which they did. But I think there's some recognition that that is not sustainable, and the problem remains. So I think there's going to be some real interest, whatever the mechanism turns out to be, in making sure that the people who are in that individual market, and frankly, it's a small slice of our population, relatively speaking, but the people that are there need something. So I think there's some goodwill there and some ability to really have some in-depth conversations about this.
But the other point is, this agenda is not necessarily designed to be governed by what Republicans will accept this year. We are talking about the needs of Minnesotans regardless of whether or not it can pass this session or this biennium in the next 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years. These are the needs of Minnesotans, and that is why we are bringing this agenda forward.
Let's talk funding mechanisms on this and more broadly too. Do you need extension of taxes, increase of taxes? Can you use the surplus? What's the source for this package?
Well, a lot more detail will be coming about the budget when we get the February forecast and we get the governor's budget on February 19th. These are items that are good policy proposals that actually aren't big ticket items in terms of spending. We didn't put forward a gigantic new spending program. Clearly, money is required to make things work. But the big discussion we'll be having about how to prioritize education funding, healthcare funding, that will really start in earnest in February when we see what the governor has planned and what the state economist has to say about where we are fiscally.
Do you foresee, though, being able to use the surplus, the $1.5 billion surplus to fund these, or do you think that you're going to need more money than that?
Well, as we talked about last month, I think it was last month, there really is only a $382 million projected positive balance at the end of the next biennium if revenues and expenditures are what we can expect plus inflation. Because
tax increases necessary?
Well, I think we really have a long road to travel before we figure out what the elements of the budget will be, and that will be the meat of the work this whole session. But this is an agenda that reflects the values that Minnesotans brought to us, areas that they want to see particular emphasis to. And I don't know if you could tell as folks came forward, but really a couple of key points on healthcare, a couple of key points on education, economic prosperity, and then really the critical infrastructure of the state through the broadband proposal. But, and then the piece that again, Minnesotans put on our radar when we were on the campaign trail, gun violence prevention, and the Me Too movement has made very, very clear that it's well past time to act to reduce the amount of sexual harassment in workplaces and other places.
With respect to guns, Governor Walz came down firmly on the side of these two bills on Monday, totally supports those. But on the Senate side, I've spoken to Chair Limmer, and his position is unmoved from last year. He wants to have it be a consensus bill, however he might define that, and he wants to make sure that, well, he says that none of the legislation that's been proposed will change anything. All of the gun crimes that we've seen have been committed by people with duly licensed weaponry, all that kind of thing. You know those arguments. Is beyond a difficult conversation, is it possibly an impossible conversation?
Well, I don't think so. One thing I will say that has changed since last year is Senator Limmer had 2 Republican House representatives in his Senate district last year, and then there was an election. And that the same truth can be said about other Republican senators. And I think that they have to listen to their constituents. We always get a little bit better at listening to our constituents when we're headed into an election cycle. So House members tend to think we're maybe better at listening to Minnesotans because we're on the ballot every 2 years. And I think as Senator Limmer talks to the constituents of his in Maple Grove, he will find that there are a lot of people who found Parkland to be the last straw. There have been too many times where we have said as a country, whether it was the first graders in Sandy Hook in 2012 or the shooting in Las Vegas, where people have said something has to change. And we can't do everything, but we can do something.
Madam Leader, there isn't, and I look at Representative Hornstein there in the back row, there isn't a transportation initiative on this. Does this mean that you are not as adamant about a gas tax increase as Governor Walz?
No, we definitely believe in investment in transportation, but in a snapshot of our priorities, we chose to focus on the infrastructure of broadband because we really think there's a competitiveness issue across the state of Minnesota. And we will definitely be having a long and extensive debate about transportation funding and what the most appropriate sources are.
Is your caucus supportive of a gas tax increase at some point?
We are certain that we will get a bill with that in it from the governor, and we will introduce that bill. We will definitely debate and discuss that, see if it has the support to pass.
On the drug pricing bill, how would you hold pharmaceutical companies accountable?
The language speaks specifically to unconscionable increases, and there are penalties prescribed in the bill, civil penalties for not complying. And we'll go into the details of them, but they're in the bill.
To go back to the costs, do you know what the total sum cost of these 10 bills will be in this biennium?
We're well too early in the session to have fiscal notes prepared for anything.
We just got in charge.
Yeah, well, I see some of our new staff in the room. This is the first time I'm seeing them in their roles as House staffers. So just keep in mind, all of us got sworn in yesterday at noon, and our new staff who will be working with us on these proposals started at 8:30 yesterday morning. So there's definitely a lot of work ahead. And the way the legislature works is we start with chunks of clay. These bills get introduced, and we sculpt all session. And so what the sculpture will look like at the end of session, that is the work of the session. And that is where we will really be listening and open to the suggestions that Republicans have. If they want to be a constructive part of the conversation, we absolutely welcome that. If they want to throw partisan bombs, then it will be more difficult to solve problems.
Representative Mahoney, can I do a quick fact check? You mentioned the 40,000 cases. I think that's per year. Is that in Minnesota? The 40,000 cases of people whose wages are being stolen?
There are 40,000 people in the state of Minnesota whose employers are stealing money from them. And it's everything from the construction worker to the full-on commission salesperson at a department store.
How does that manifest? What's an example of how that works? How does that manifest? How does that work? How are they taking that money?
Any number of different ways, from charging them for a lunch or for transportation to just saying that suit didn't cost you really $1,200, it was discounted down to $1,000, and you're only going to get your commission on your $1,000. So it's a wide variety. And as a pipe fitter who spent 30 years in the union, I've actually had wage theft done to me, and because I had an organization behind me, I didn't lose money. They came in and took care of it. We have too many people in this state who do not have an organization behind them to come in and say, Mr. Employer, you're not going to the Bahamas, you're going to pay your employees.
Last question on that. Will there be increased criminal penalties attached to that?
It'll be increased financial fines, not increased penalties.
Just want to stay out of Representative Lesch's committee, huh?
Yes, very much so.
Back on the prescription drug prices, beyond the civil penalties for companies, what can the state do? What regulatory powers might it have? Like, what can you do to lower or keep low those prices?
Well, there's a lot that's limited because of the Commerce Clause, right? These pharmaceutical companies are in the stream of commerce. However, we can use our powers as a state legislature to use that language of unconscionable increases when the prices go 50% high and take a much closer look. And then it, quite frankly, becomes a question for a jury. And those pharmaceutical companies are going to have to decide whether or not they want to take the risk of raising the ire of the people of Minnesota by making their drug prices too high.
So it's more of a deterrent than being able to actually cap prices.
Well, I think there's a much larger discussion to be had about prescription drugs this session than just this one bill. This is an illustration that we are going to take on this issue, but there's much more to be done.
And with that, we are going to head back to the One Minnesota Conference with our Republican counterparts over on the University of Minnesota campus. Thank you very much.
Thanks.